welcome to Align with Ariana. I am Ariana, of course, your favorite psychic medium. I am able to go beyond the veil of life and death to connect with spirits that are sometimes nice and sometimes not so much. So in this Tell My Story reading, you guys wanted me to connect with King Von, also known as Davon Daquan Bennett. I am able to connect with him. He is very strong, so I'm going to go ahead and get into this reading. I want to warn you that my content is very real and very true. So I will be connecting with spirit to get a lot of this information, so enter at your own risk. Now, in this Tell My Story, like I mentioned before, King Von is a popular rapper. Now, usually when I connect with spirit in regards to people that are passing, I don't connect very early. It is reasons why. It's because oftentimes the spirits are on their journey, they are traveling, and I do not want to intercede or stop that process. So I allow them to go through their process. Now, during this time, I will connect with the spirit, but I will let you guys know he is more than willing to connect at this time. He has a very, very strong spirit. And he is very, very high in his energy or who he was, okay? So I want to let you guys know that on the surface, he might have appeared one way, but his spirit and his soul was very old during this transitioning time. He's probably transitioned over 30,000 times, okay? That's what I'm getting from spirit, that he has a transition of over 30,000 times, meaning that he has been on through this process over 30,000 times. What I'm also getting from his spirit guides and his ancestors is that he is deeply connected with the Druids, okay? Or he has a connection with a lot of ancestral roots from the trees, from the earth, from Mother Gaia. So his spirit, you will notice with his spirit is that he was not the one to ever want to sit still. He was always on the go, but he would find his most elevation or the best time of his process in getting a lot of things, from downloads to helping him with music to writing to anything. He will get that in nature because that is how he's connected. Now, I want to let you guys know he is here. He's ready to connect. Now, he is also mentioning about someone by the name of Twanda. I'm not for sure who this is. This could be a mother or a close friend, maybe even an auntie that he has. But he is informing me that it was a female that helped him cross over. It was a very close female that helped him, that assisted him in his process of crossing over. He is still in that process of crossing over. So this could be an auntie. So someone that is very, very close to him. But this is, he's still going through his process of crossing over, you guys. This is not done yet. He's also informing me that he mentioning about his favorite candy right now. He's talking a lot about his favorite candy. He's talking about a white and a chocolate bar. Like the bar that is a white chocolate bar. It's a white chocolate bar with cookies and cream. So he's talking a lot about that. He's actually even giving me like the flavors and the taste of it, but he's mentioning that a lot of people will know him, know that was something that he adored. That was like one of his favorite things that he enjoyed. So he's actually just giving me things that he wants me to inform you guys about what he misses, about things that he wants to talk about. He's very strong in his process and learning about who he is and what he's doing. He talks a lot about his career. He feels like that he wasn't able to move as quickly as he wanted to because he feels like that it was more for him to learn. He said that he was still learning the music business. He was still learning how things went with connections, because he's saying that he was a guy that grew up in the streets, and he's talking about how his connection is with learning how to bring that aspect to the industry side, because that's a whole different aspect. He's also talking about how he didn't make a lot of wise decisions with some things. I don't know if he was in a contract or getting ready to be in some sort of contract, but he feels like his hands was tied in this agreement. He feels like that he wasn't able to really express himself. Did he come up under, I think he's saying that he came up under a best friend or up under a friend with some sort of contract, and it was supposed to be some sort of a group thing that was going to be done. But some people took some solo routes. Some people took some solo routes. Gavin, yeah, did he say Gavin? Calvin? Calvin or Gavin? Calvin. So I don't know if, okay, so one of close friends, I don't know if his name is Calvin or something. He has a, yeah, I don't know if his name is Calvin, but he's mentioning something by the name of Calvin. Something with the letter C. He's saying definitely something with the letter C is someone's real name, their real name. But he's also referencing how people had to go their separate routes, and he's very strong, you guys. One way that he will connect, because he's so electric, he has so much electricity. He will connect very heavily through lights. He's talking about being able to transfer and be able to bring connections to his families and his friends and his loved ones through electricity. So if you notice anything that is involved around electricity or some sort of light, this is for his family or his friends or ones that he's choosing to connect with, he will make some sort of electricity movement. You will know this through electricity. But he's very, very strong, you guys. He's also very strong in his guides and his intuition and what he feels like. So he's mentioning the night that he went out. The night that he went out, he's saying this is leading up to the passing. But the night that he went out, he actually was not supposed to. He was going to make an appearance or do something that was connected with an appearance, and it was only supposed to be for a short amount of time. He's saying that he was leaving an area. I don't know if he was getting gas, because he's mentioning that, but he's mentioning something about like making a stop, getting something, or making a connection to get something, to get gas, to get something, and then he was leaving. He feels like he keeps saying Calvin, okay? Calvin, not Gavin, excuse me, not Gavin. Calvin. Calvin must be a name of someone that he's connecting with. He's saying this name because he is mentioning, he finds that this name is very important. He's saying Calvin. So this was something that that he was connected with. And he's also mentioning three kings, okay? So I'm not for sure if this is a group or organization, but he's saying three kings. And he's also mentioning Calvin. He's saying that these are some sort of connections that possibly had something to do with him not being here. He's able and ready to talk because he feels like his soul needs to learn from these experiences. He's saying that he's always had experiences with males or male energies where he doesn't feel like that he was able to trust them, that he was able to move forward. He's saying that he's learning how to be more connected with his soul purpose and his soul journey and who he is, because he does feel like that throughout his process and journey, that has been the ways that has been keeping him down, so to speak. He hasn't been able to really grow from that experience. It's one of those experiences that keeps coming up in his lifetime, and he's saying that this time he feels like he learned from it very, very much. He's also mentioning someone about the name letter D, Danetta. I don't know if this is Danetta or Denise. Danetta. This is a family member or someone. It could be a love interest. This is a female he's talking about, Danetta. That is someone that he's very connected to on this journey. This could be someone that he's connected to now on his journey after he's passed, or someone that he was connected to while he was here. But he's talking about this female, and I believe her name is Danetta. So he keeps mentioning Danetta. This is a name, or whoever this person will know who they will know, because I have no way of knowing this information. These informations are very private and connected to the soul. The soul does remember its journey, okay? So it's not like the soul forgets. The soul remembers, it remembers the name, but throughout the time and the process, the better they learn to release and let go and move forward, then they're able to go on their journey. But he is mentioning someone by the name of Danetta. He's saying that he was very connected, but he's saying it was three guys. He's saying three kings. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but he's mentioning three kings. So he's also saying that the three kings were tied or connected to him not being here. He does feel like that his time came a little too soon, but I don't know if he was wearing orange that night, the color orange, but he's talking about orange. Were you wearing it, or was somebody else wearing it? Okay, so someone else could have been wearing that color that night. If he was not wearing orange, it could be someone else. But he's talking about a lot about seeing orange. He's seen a guy or seen someone with an orange shirt, something with an orange shirt. He's also mentioning that everything happened so quick. He was not able to really react. But he's saying at that very moment, he reacted the best way that he knew how. He said that he can't believe that someone would be willing to come forward to test him at that very moment. He couldn't believe that it was actually his time. He's saying that he grew up around that type of energy, that someone was always dying, someone was always leaving, loved one was always in and out. But they were, he said he never thought that it was actually real. He never thought the process and was actually real. My understanding of what I'm getting from him is that he wants people to be more comfortable with the process of the death and the rebirth process, because he's also mentioning how it's become more of an easy transition now that he's released or let go. It's become a very easy transition. Now, he's also mentioning about being at two places at one time. So I think there was an issue with his paperwork and what he was supposed to be doing, because he's telling me that he was supposed to be completing or doing some sort of concert or doing some sort of work at another location, and then he ended up there at a specific spot. So he feels like this was all strategically planned out and organized for him to be here at that place, because he's saying that no one really knew how he moved or how he traveled. But he is also mentioning that he did happen to do some sort of entertainment, like live. I don't know if he went live with the session on social media, but he's also mentioning that he did do something, and that is, he feels like him going through or doing something on live or social media very close around the time that he passed away, it has a lot to do with what's going on. I don't know if the street name in which he either grew up or which he passed away. He's talking about Richardson Street or Richard Street, or the corner of a Richard Street or Richardson Street. This is where he's talking about something that happened there, something that took place there. And he's also mentioned the name Kelly. He's mentioning the name Kelly. So the name Kelly is coming up because he's saying that he had some sort of connection, some sort of dealings with him. Yeah, he's talking about the name Kelly. I don't know if something happened on a freeway. Yeah, he's mentioning about a freeway. He's saying that I don't know if he was on the freeway or he was getting ready to hit a freeway, but he's talking about going onto the freeway and then something drastically happened very quick. Something happened very, very fast. He's saying that he felt the energy shift almost immediately, you guys. He's saying that he was on the phone. He was actually getting ready to make a phone call or make some sort of phone call because he felt something was off. So he was getting ready to make a phone call to someone that he was connected to. He was getting ready to make a phone call to someone by the letter T. Someone the letter T. He was getting ready to make a phone call to this person, but he noticed that things were not right. So he was actually getting ready, and he keeps talking about he was jumping off of the freeway. He had a condo in Atlanta. He had a condo or a place to stay in Atlanta, somewhere that he would visit often. And then he's also mentioning about he had a connection or relationship with some female there, and they possibly share a child. Yeah, they possibly share a child, or were planning to share a child together. But this is someone he was very connected to, that he was in Atlanta with, and he was going to be visiting. He was there, and he's also mentioning that they had a very strong connection, that they were planning to have a child. They parented a child, or getting close or getting ready to parent a child. So he's saying the reason why he was there because he had a love interest that he was there with, and he was connected. But he's saying some business deals had got crossed up. He was actually doing a lot of other things on the side for his life. He was not necessarily just focused on what is out in the forefront, because he's making it very clear that all of the things that people show up and how things are seen are not as they are. He's saying that he still had to live a life outside of that. He was not disconnected or totally disconnected from the people that he was connected with in the streets. He was still doing a lot of the same things, a lot of the things that he was doing prior to. That's what he's mentioning. He's saying he's not here to really talk about his past. He doesn't really want to keep bringing it up as a bad person, because he's not a bad person, but he wants people to know that it's a whole nother world on that side of the track. It's an illusion. It's all a game. A lot of things are being played, from deals to contracts. So a lot of things are not being what they say they are. A lot of things that were said as promised were not delivered. And he's making it very clear. He's saying that he was the type of guy that he wasn't going to let anyone get over him. That is why his name was King, or that's why he went by King, because he felt like he always knew that he was a king. When he was younger, roughly around the age of 8, he's saying that he used to run his whole block. He's saying he used to run his community, his family, like people trusted him. He was young, but he was mighty. He had a big, mighty spirit. So he's saying that he would never let anyone get over on him, and he was never going to let him do that now. Him and his manager was not in an agreement. Him and his manager, or whoever was managing his paperwork or some things, they had some issues. There was a falling out. There was a situation before this. And quite frankly, you guys, I am here to do my spirit work, to deliver the message. I don't care about anything that is not connected to me and on my divine path and my divine purpose. And I will tell you, by connecting with this young man is here and ready to speak, and my spirit guides are allowing his message to flow through. I am divinely protected in this reading, so everything that he wants to talk about is his soul coming forth. So he does want to talk about that. A lot of the things that were going on were being swept under the table. He's talking about he had some sort of deal that he was working on. And he's also mentioning that he was working on trying to work or get in the clothing line industry. I don't know if he was selling clothes or he had some sort of clothing line that he was getting ready to focus on. But he's saying that was his main focus. That was some things that he was doing. But at the same time, he's also saying that he was distracted in a world in which he should have left behind a long time ago. He does feel like there's a lot of people that was connected with him through his past that actually, he's saying that actually did this. I had a connection to this, because he does not feel that these were people that were, he knows for sure that these were people that he was connected to from his past. Not any time this time, but from his past. And connected through family members that he grew up with. So these are people that's very close to him. These are people that's very close to him. He's also mentioning about I don't know, see this T word. I don't know who Tony is, Tony or someone with a T. He was getting ready to call, but he had an issue with this particular person. He had an issue. That was an issue. That was a situation. He was getting ready to call this person. I think the name is Tony. He's saying Tony. Now, Tony could be like a road manager or some sort of manager. A manager to him. Some sort of manager, but he's saying some sort of manager to him. He does feel like, I keep seeing him showing me all of these smiles, right? He has a really big smile. I keep seeing him showing me a smile. He's saying that he lived his life the way he wanted to, but it was so much more that he wanted to do. This is weird, because he was talking about, I don't know if he was, sorry, excuse me. I just want to bring forth his energy, because his energy is coming so strong. I just want to give him a space. But he's also mentioning about, I don't know if he was planning to do something very fun soon. He keeps talking about, I don't know if he was doing like a Disney World trip or doing something fun. He was doing something very, very fun soon where he could not be judged. He didn't care about being judged. He just wanted to have a life and wanted to have a free life and wanted to feel free. So he was getting ready to do something that was very childish, like he's saying very childish. He was getting ready to connect. I don't know if he was doing something like in a Disney World. He was waiting for Disney World to come open, because he's mentioning something about that. Something about connecting with the childlike energy in him, that he was learning how to rebuild that connection with him. But he's talking about at times he could be very playful and very childish with things. He never really did have like, when he was serious, but when he was playing, he would play all the time. Like, that was his energy, that was his mode. He was always in good laughter and good love and good spirits. He has a deep connection with his family. Like I said, his aunties or someone of a female dominance is coming through on his behalf, and actually going through the process of just speaking with him and holding him and helping him, assist him through this process and through this time. He has now released a lot of anger and resentment, okay? He is still very sad in this process. He's very sad in his connection, because he does feel like that it was a lot of people that he promised some things to that he was not able to deliver. And that is his biggest hiccup right now. He does feel like that he let some people down because he was not able to complete the promises. So that is why he is very sad. But all in all, his spirits is good. His spirits are upright in the best position with transitioning. I want to see if he has anything else that he wants to talk about or that he wants to speak about right now. Yeah, he is on the other side of the veil, you guys. He has not completely transitioned. This is fairly new. It's very new. He has not transitioned. He's on the other side of the veil. So he's going to be able to communicate very easily right now during this time. He was looking forward to Thanksgiving. He was actually looking very forward to Thanksgiving, because he's talking about being able to connect with his families. He has a little cousin, or I don't know if it's a little son or a little cousin, that he promised some things to that he wanted to deliver. He wanted to deliver this year, and he does feel like he's missing out. He's saying that he never took a lot of things so serious, but he loves Thanksgiving, you guys. He loved Thanksgiving. He said he loved being around his family. He loved connecting, and he loved to basically play games, like play games with his family and his friends. Play games with his family and his friends. And he's talking about, like, I don't know if that's what they used to do for Thanksgiving and with his family, like play dice or play cards or do something, because he's talking about connecting with his family and wanting to do that. That's something he looked forward to. He looked very much forward to. He feels that it's very unfortunate, but he also feels that he was like a sacrificial lamb, okay? And that's his way of expressing and explaining this. He does feel like his soul is being used for something better, something greater. Something greater. So he's very wise beyond his time, you guys. This is not like, his spirit is wise. Remember I talked about the 30,000 times over and over? He's very, very wise. Very wise spirit. He's talking about the reason why he was not able to react so quick is because he's saying that he felt he was up under the influence, you guys. I keep getting like a light airy head. So he's saying that he was smoked out at the time. He was smoking at the time, and he was not in his own thoughts. So he's saying that he wasn't able to respond to the situation. He felt it energetically because his senses were very high. Actually, he's saying so as a child. A lot of people don't know this, but he suffered from what they would call as a child that had so much energetic energy that they didn't know how to focus, or they could focus on multiple things. And he's saying that his I don't know if this was like a family friend or someone, but he's also saying that they tried to put him on some sort of medicine when he was younger because they felt like he was just not able to focus on a lot of things. He has very high senses, so it makes him actually have that sense or that energy of anxiety or paranoid, but those are just his senses. He didn't really know how to cope with it, and his family didn't. He's saying that he used to get a lot of teachers or influencers, leaders that are supposed to help. They were actually just trying to get him to focus, so they were going to put him on some sort of medicine, or they possibly did put him on some sort of medicine. I don't know if they classify it as ADHD or gave it to some sort of term, but he's saying that this was not something that he had. This was something that was given to him, that the medicine was given to him, but the energy that he had possessed and held was something that was internal in his system. He didn't understand, his family didn't understand that this was his high sensory of spirit. This was like a gift from spirit for him to be able to connect and pick up to things so quickly. He has a deep connection with I'm getting an image here, but I can't get the name. Okay, Tentacion. Him and I think I'm saying it right, Tentacion. He has a deep connection with them. I don't know if they were in the same soul tribe or they were in the same business, but he has a deep connection. I'm seeing a very similar connection to them two, of them two feeling the same thing and almost coming through. It's almost like he's coming through with him. You guys, these young men that are leaving, that are real legit leaders, they are helping assist each other on their soul journey. This is beautiful because you have men that are actually growing into men, like further assisting them on their journey beyond this realm. You guys, this is so therapeutic. This is why I do what I do, because I'm able to heal on a different realm. I'm able to help assist with that healing process. This is beautiful. He's also talking about like a lot of things that he's wishing to bury or let go of, which is a lot of childish mistakes or a lot of things that he done in the past or that he did do from childish mistakes. Yeah. A lot of childish things that he's mentioning. He's saying that within his family, someone recently just passed away in his family. So his family is still dealing with a lot. They've actually they were not finished dealing with someone else that just passed away in the family. Let's see what else. Yeah, he was holding out on some sort of deal. He was holding out on some sort of, he was keeping his money and tucking it in and holding out on some sort of deal. Him and someone else had dealings. They had some things. I see a lot of aggressive energy moving towards him. Yeah, this was a very unfortunate event. This was something that was not planned at all. And I do see that within his timeline was cut very, very short. Like this was not in the works. He was planning to actually do some relocating. So he was actually in between spaces. He was going to move. He was moving to another place, but he was in between with decision making. He felt torn between two families. I don't know if he had two separate families, but he felt torn. This was a betrayal situation, you guys. This was a very high betrayal situation. He was actually holding out on a situation, but this was something that went bad and turned bad because he was actually working towards something. So this was an agreement between him and this person, and he keeps talking about this contract. So this person he knew very much, it was very much connected to him. Someone had went after him or was sent after him for this particular thing because he did not follow through with his portion of a deal with some sort of contract. He was actually trying to walk away. He was trying to maneuver because he saw a different aspect of him. I don't know if he was getting ready to become a father, but he was getting more in touch with his... What was that? Okay, as you guys know, I told you I don't play with spirit, okay? That was probably him because he connects very strongly with, I told you guys, his energy is so strong. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end this reading because that's his spirit probably wanting to connect, but I don't want to impede his process. I want him to continue to go forward. So you guys, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to connect with his energy and his spirit in this reading because this spirit reading is very, very strong. As you know, you guys, I connect with spirit and I connect with divine. So all of these things that come forth, they may or they may not be out there, but what I am connecting with here now is King Von. His spirit is real. His spirit is true. Very, very strong. I wish him very well on his journey and the transmission process, you guys. This will probably be a part 2 reading. I'm going to give him some time to kind of grow in this process. I want to thank you guys for aligning with Ariana. If you would like your own personal reading, please visit www.alignwithariana.com for more details, for more goodies, for more working your magic. Peace, love, Wadu. Bye.